An auk is a bird of the family Alcidae in the order Charadriiformes.Extant. Auks range in size from the least auklet at 85 grams and 15 centimeters to the thick-billed murre at 1 kilogram and 45 centimeters. They are good swimmers and divers, but the walking appears clumsy. Modern auks can fly. Due to the short wings, auks have to flap the wings very quickly in order to fly. Auks are superficially similar to penguins, having black and white colors, upright posture and some of the habits. Nevertheless, they are not closely related to penguins, but rather are believed to be an example of moderate convergent evolution. Auks live on the open sea and go ashore only for breeding, although some species, like the common guillemot, spend a great part of the year defending the nesting spot from others. Several species have different common names in Europe and North America. The guillemots of Europe are murre in North America, if they occur in both continents, and the little auk becomes the dovekie. Some species, such as the urea guillemots, nest in large colonies on cliff edges. Others, like the sapphis guillemots, breed in small groups on rocky coasts, and the puffins, auklets and some murrelets nest in burrows. All species except the Brachyramphis murrelets are colonial. Feeding and ecology. The feeding behavior of auks is often compared to that of penguins. Both groups are wing-propelled pursuit divers. In the region where auks live, their only seabird competition is the cormorants. In areas where the two groups feed on the same prey, the auks tend to feed further offshore. Although not to the extent of penguins, auks have largely sacrificed flight and also mobility on land. In exchange for swimming ability, the wings are a compromise between the best possible design for diving and the bare minimum needed for flying. This varies by subfamily, the urea guillemots and murrelets being the most efficient under the water, whereas the puffins and auklets are better adapted for flying and walking. This reflects the type of prey taken. Strong swimming murre hunt faster schooling fish, whereas auklets take slower moving krill. Time depth recorders on auks have shown that they can dive as deep as 100 meters in the case of urea guillemots, 40 meters for the sapphis guillemots and 30 meters for the auklets. Evolution and distribution. Traditionally, the auks were believed to be one of the earliest distinct Charadriiform lineages due to the characteristic morphology. However, genetic analyses have demonstrated that these peculiarities are the product of strong natural selection instead. As opposed to, for example, plovers, auks radically changed from a wading shorebird to a diving seabird lifestyle. Thus, today, the auks are no longer separated in their own suborder, but considered part of the Lari suborder, which otherwise contains gulls and similar birds. Judging from genetic data, their closest living relatives appear to be the skuas, with these two lineages separating about 30 million years ago. Alternatively, auks may have split off far earlier from the rest of the Lari and undergone strong morphological, but slow genetic evolution, which would require a very high evolutionary pressure, coupled with a long lifespan and slow reproduction. The earliest unequivocal fossils of auks are from the late Eocene, some 35 Mya. The genus Myocephus is the earliest known from good specimens. Two very fragmentary fossils are often assigned to the Alcidae, although this may not be correct: Hydrothericornis and Petrolca. Most extant genera are known to exist since the late Miocene or early Pliocene. Miocene fossils have been found in both California and Maryland, but the greater diversity of fossils and tribes in the Pacific leads most scientists to conclude that it was that they first evolved. and it is in the Miocene Pacific that the first fossils of extant genera are found. Early movement between the Pacific and the Atlantic probably happened to the south. Later movements across the Arctic Ocean, the flightless subfamily Mancorlini, which was apparently restricted to the Pacific coast of southern North America and became extinct in the early Pleistocene, is sometimes included in the family Alcidae under some definitions. One species, Myomancella howardi, is the largest Charadriiform of all time. The extant auks have broken up into two main groups, the usually high-billed puffins and auklets, as opposed to the more slender-billed murre and true auks, and the murrelets and guillemots. The tribal arrangement was originally based on analyses of morphology and ecology. mtDNA cytochrome-B sequence and allozyme studies confirm these findings, except that the Synthly-boramphis murrelets should be split into a distinct tribe, as they appear more closely related to the Alcidae. In any case, assumption of a closer relationship between the former and the true guillemots was only weakly supported by earlier studies. Of the genera, there are only a few species in each. This is probably a product of the rather small geographic range of the family, and the periods of glacial advance and retreat that have kept the populations on the move in a narrow band of subarctic ocean. Today, as in the past, the auks are restricted to cooler northern waters. Their ability to spread further south is restricted as the prey hunting method, pursuit diving, becomes less efficient in warmer waters. The speed at which small fish can swim doubles as the temperature increases from 5 to 15 degrees Celsius, with no corresponding increase in speed for the bird. The southernmost auks, in California and Mexico, can survive because of cold upwellings. The current paucity of auks in the Atlantic, compared to the Pacific, is considered to be because of extinctions to the Atlantic auks. The fossil record shows there were many more species in the Atlantic during the Pliocene. Auks also tend to be restricted to continental shelf waters and breed on few oceanic islands. Hydrothericornis oregonus, the oldest purported alcide from the Eocene of California, is actually a petrel and is reassigned to the tuberoses. A 2003 paper entitled "The Earliest North American Record of Auk from the Late Eocene of Central Georgia" by Robert M. Chandler and Dennis Palmley of Georgia College and State University reports a late Eocene wing-propelled diving auk from the prior Bonan stage of the late Eocene. These sediments have been dated through Chandronian and ALMA North American land mammal age, at an estimate of 34.5 to 35.5 million years on the Eocene timescale for fossil-bearing sediments of the Clinchfield Formation, Gordon, Wilkinson County, Georgia. Furthermore, the sediments containing this unabraded portion of the left humerus are tropical or subtropical, as evidenced by a wealth of warm water shark teeth, paleophid snake vertebrae and turtles. Systematics. Basal and Incertisedis myocephus. Subfamily Alcinae, tribe Alcinae. Typical auks and murre. Urea common murre, a common guillemot. Urea aalge. Thick-billed murre or Brunix guillemot. Urea lomvia. Al little auka doveki. Al penguinus greator. Penguinusum penis alca razorbill. Alcatorda tribe. Synthly-boramphini. Synthly-boramphine murrelet. Synthly-boramphis scripsis murrelet. Synthly-boramphis scripsi, formerly in S. hypoleucus Guadalupe murrelet. Synthly-boramphis hypoleucus, sometimes separated in Endomytura. Craveries murrelet. Synthly-boramphis craveri, sometimes separated in Endomytura. Ancient murrelet. Synthly-boramphis antiquus. Japanese murrelet. Synthly-boramphis wu mizuzium tribe. Sapphini, true guillemot, Sapphis, black guillemot, Atisti, Sapphis grill, pigeon guillemot, Sapphis columba, Ural guillemot, Sapphis columba, snowy spectacled guillemot, Sapphis carbo, tribe Bracharamphini, Bracharamphine marellets, Bracharamphis marbled murrelet, Bracharamphis marmoratus, long-billed murrelet, Bracharamphis podex kitlitzes murrelet, Bracharamphis brevirostris, subfamily Fraticulini, tribe Ethini, auklet, Stichoramphis cassans, auklet, Tichoramphis aloyticus, Ethia parakeet, auklet, Ethia siticula, crested auklet, Ethia cristatella, whiskered auklet, Ethia pygmea, least auklet, Ethia pusilla, tribe Fraticulini, puffins, Serrahinca rhinoceros auklet, Serrahinca monocerata, Fraticula Atlantic puffin, Fraticula arctica horned puffin, Fraticula corniculata tufted puffin, Fraticula serrata. Biodiversity of auks seems to have been markedly higher during the Pliocene. See the genus accounts for prehistoric species.